Guys, oh my gosh, I used to do that all the time when I was little. Anyways, hello. Welcome to day number 5 of 12 days of Live Fitness. I may or may not have just been having a dance party, and so I'm a little bit winded. Anyways, today's video is all gonna be about mindful eating 101, some of my tips, strategies, what is mindful eating, what do I do it, my theory on it, just my overall approach to how I eat. But first, some things to fill you in on. Number 1, I did get wrist surgery on Tuesday. It's now Friday when I'm filming this. Everything went so superb. Basically, I was getting the hardware out that was in my bone from when I broke my wrist. We got all of that taken out now because everything is thoroughly healed, which I must say, the doctor said I healed like textbook anatomy. I healed perfectly as if the fraction never even happened. So I was like, thank you. And to me, it was because, a huge reason is because I literally had intentional meditations on it and sent so much love to my wrist, and I'm gonna die on that hill, but that's why I believe it healed so well. Anyways, so the surgery went well. I'm literally in absolutely zero pain, which is insane because they were gonna prescribe me painkillers of like oxycodone and fentanyl, and I was like, please no, like I don't need those. Like I didn't take it the first time, I won't need them this time, it's fine. And it's crazy because I literally truly have zero pain, so like I can't even imagine. It's just crazy, like it was unnecessary, you know what I mean? And like I wouldn't have needed to take those. Next thing is that I did get 2 new lenses, which I'm so excited for, but I just wanted to film this intro on the normal lens, the kit lens that came with my Canon M50, just so you guys could see the difference. But I got 2 new lenses and 2 new mics, and so here's my initial reaction on both of those new lenses. Wow! Yo, this is crazy! How superb is this? Yo, I'm so freaking hyped! This is so exciting. I got a wide angle lens. Finally. Hey. This looks so good. I'm so excited to vlog on this. I love this. Wait, you guys, I feel like Sarah's day. Okay, here we go again. Reveal, removing the lens cap. This one is a lot bigger on my camera. So this is the other lens. Ideally, the other one was a wide angle lens, like I said, and this one is supposed to be more so for when I'm like filming in the gym and like when I have my talking head videos for my podcast and things like that. The background is supposed to be a lot blurrier, way shallower depth of field, not as wide of an angle. So I'm hoping this is gonna look a lot more crisp when I'm filming my podcast episodes and stuff like that. I'm just so excited, and this makes my camera look so legit. This looks so good. Okay, see, this looks very blurry now. See how blurry the background is? I don't really think you're gonna be able to tell, but like, okay, you can kind of, like, it's just bigger. She's legit now, boys. She's legit. Also, I ordered all this bunch of new equipment, you guys, so everyone get ready. I told you I was up leveling. I got these Rode wireless mics, ideally to use when like I'm in the gym for my YouTube videos to like talk with you guys as I'm doing the exercise, and I'm so excited about those. I want to give a little synopsis about mindful eating because I feel like, especially in the fitness space, the 2 like hot sides to be on are either like you track your calories, or you're someone who identifies with intuitive eating, which I used to kind of use the term intuitive eating, but I feel like mindful eating or like intentional eating is way more better accurately describes my intention and strategy when it comes to eating. So I feel like, to me, intuitive eating is kind of essentially just kind of eating whatever you want, whenever you want, and kind of with no direction or goal in mind. Personally, that's the way I see intuitive eating. Whereas mindful eating is still eating with an intention. I still eat to look, feel, and perform a certain way. I still am very much so intentional, like I'm saying, with what I'm eating, why I'm eating, when I'm eating it. But I don't feel the need to track every single calorie that is going into my mouth. I feel much more balanced with my relationship with food. I feel like my relationship with food is in a really great, healthy place. So I just feel like mindful eating is still giving my body the freedom and like giving myself the space to listen to my hunger cues and listen to my intuition and listen to my body, but without kind of, I guess, just going rogue, for lack of a better term, and kind of having no intention, but also without needing to completely micromanage every single solitary thing that goes into my mouth. I just personally think mindful eating is such like the perfect blend of just like still being able to listen to your body while also being able to be intentional with what you eat in order to stay in alignment with your goals, whether they're physically, mentally, emotionally, internally, whatever your health goals are. Okay, so now I'm switching to my wide angle lens. This is just so It's so fun. Also, super exciting announcement. Wait, I kind of can't believe that I'm actually, because I just posted a story of like, oh, there's gonna be an announcement on Monday and I'm filming this video for Monday. Basically, I am finally starting to plan another retreat. And I am like so ecstatic, it's not even freaking funny. And I essentially kind of the same process to last time. I'm releasing a survey for you guys to give me feedback about where you'd want to go, the vibe of the retreat, how many days you'd want to go for, how much you're willing to spend, etc. And my whole intention with this one is to have kind of a retreat on the smaller scale and within the US. So all the destinations that I have for you guys to choose from are still going to be in the US, because that was a huge thing that you guys were requesting, was you wanted one that was here actually in the States, just so it was easier to travel to. I'm hearing you guys, I'm listening to you guys, and now hopefully we're going to be running another retreat that's going to be within the US, and hopefully sometime within the fall of next year, or again, depending on what your guys' feedback is on the survey of what dates work for the majority of you guys. These retreats are something that I'm really like have a dream to really expand and like have this be a big thing that I do every year with you guys, and just be able to connect with you guys and be able to create a whole immersive live fit like experience in real life and just have it be super impactful. So I'm really excited. So if you have any sort of interest at all to come on this retreat and you're willing to give me some feedback to help me plan, I would appreciate it so much if you could go down and just fill out the survey. There's no strings attached from you filling out the survey, none at all. It's no commitment. It's simply just to give me and the team that I'm working with feedback in order to be able to plan the absolute best retreat possible and actually accommodate to your guys' wants and need to make it really impactful and everything that you guys are wanting. And again, thank you to everyone who goes and fills out the survey. The more responses, the merrier. Again, no strings attached. It just helps me tenfold to be able to plan the best retreat possible for you guys and serve my community, which is number one intention. Oh, frick, I'm so excited. Guys, I feel so much more of an official vlogger with my wide angle lens. Never been a one day. So the reason why I love mindful eating is because I personally feel like it's more effective and honestly kind of a little bit more accurate and more sustainable. Let me explain why. Like, you can track your calories down to the T, be as, you know, particular and meticulous as possible with how you're weighing your food and everything, but there's still always room for error. Just the whole concept of tracking calories isn't as exact as I feel like it's made out to be. Like, don't get me wrong, I'm not trying to say that it's, you know, not accurate enough to allow you to like hit your goals. It's definitely a great tool, especially if you're learning. But as I've gotten, you know, more into this fitness journey, as I've learned more, it is more complicated than that. Our bodies are more complicated than that. We are more free-flowing beings, and it's not exactly like, oh, you burned 1,852 calories today, so you need to eat 1,852 calories to maintain your weight. Like, theoretically, yes, that's correct, and I still use that terminology to explain things because, like I'm saying, it's still theoretically true, but it's not like that exact of how, like, if you were to track how many calories you're burning, you know, on your fitness Apple Watch, that you then need to make up for that with how you're eating. Like, the body is just more complex than that, and there's so much more to how your body's actually processing food. So like, this is going to come down to the thermic effect of food, which is like how many calories it takes your body to just simply digest the food that you're eating, the bioavailability of certain nutrients, how your body's absorbing different things in the gut. So even if you maybe ate something that says 100 calories on the package, that doesn't necessarily mean that you're uptaking and using 100 calories for energy. Like, it's just, there's just overall more to it, and I think it's kind of a little bit silly for us to think that we are kind of the higher knowledge, I guess, when it comes to our body. Like, I'm just a big believer that our body knows best. And I think another great point is that not all calories are created equal. Like, 100 calories worth of donuts is not the same as 100 calories worth of chicken breast. I kind of like to describe it as if you're going to go for a mile run on the beach, like on sand, versus a mile run on the pavement on the road. Like, you're still running a mile, right? 100 calories is still 100 calories, but the quality and the consistency and the actual context of that mile run is very different, and that's the same thing that applies to calories. Not only in how those calories are getting digested, but the nutrients that are in them, which also then affects how they're getting digested, how your body utilizes those 100 calories, the signals that your body sends to your brain. Like, there's just more to it than simply just calories in versus calories out. And again, I don't want to like confuse more people. Like, calories do matter 100%, but I'm just saying, for me, in terms of sustainability in the long haul of eating and how I want to live my life, and even for the sake of just having more food freedom and fluidity with what I'm eating, I'm a much bigger advocate for overall mindful eating. Introduce yourself.
My name's Hunter. My nickname's P-Ratch. I'm best friends with Olivia.
Alright, that was a stretch. Cut. Alright guys, so 2 gym stories from today. 1, allegedly a Karen has complained about me filming in the gym. Ask me how I feel about it. So yeah, that's that. Don't really know what's gonna come of this. I'll keep you guys posted if we're switching gyms, but like, this isn't the first time I've had this issue, and I kind of low-key felt like it just was a matter of time, especially since I like have my big tripod in there now. My camera looks a lot more dramatic than like my little G7X. But then furthermore, someone also asked if I was a sprinter and if I was like a training pro athlete and if I was with the Olympians that were here last week. And I'm like, nah, dog. And I just hate that because I'm like, listen, another day getting asked if I'm an Olympian and another day having to say I don't do jack shit. I'm just a plain old regular schmegular. But yeah, gym chronicles for the day, I guess. It's the next day. I just was kind of over. I was like, I don't even want to try to battle with the lighting right now to finish out this video because it gets dark at 5 p.m. So we're just starting again the next day. You guys, I'm literally so extra, but I'm mic'd up right now because I got the new Rode wireless mics like I showed you guys, and I just want to try them out, and I feel like now's the time. You guys don't understand how much I've upgraded my whole entire filming setup. Like, I used to not use a big tripod at all, really, because it just was kind of like annoying to me. But now I'm like, so we're just clearly official. Like, I'm mic'd up. You guys know when we're sitting in this vicinity that I'm about to go on a preacher rant. Basically, I want to talk about now just mindful eating tips and strategies and just kind of where to get started, especially if you don't really have experience with it before. So first thing that I want to point out is that whole foods are king. And if you are trying to actually, over the long haul, practice mindful eating, you need to be prioritizing whole foods if you truly actually want this to work. Because the whole basis of mindful eating, which we're going to get into, it's all about being able to listen to your body. And in order for your body to be able to properly process everything that you're eating to then send you signals, if you're full, hungry, what you're craving, what you're not craving, you need to make sure that you're it's kind of like, whoa, here's a good analogy. It's kind of like if you're putting gas in your car, you need to make sure you're putting in the right gas in your car if you're wanting it to run properly. It's kind of that same thing. So if you're eating a lot of packaged processed foods, I'm not trying to demonize them. Like, again, we'll get to this in a minute when I touch on this, but I'm just trying to say, like, they don't process the same way. They don't get digested the same way. They don't get utilized in the exact same way, nor as efficiently as whole foods do, due to the bioavailability of nutrients, how digestible they are, and things like that. And whole foods are inherently more satiating because of 3 main pillars that usually whole foods fall into at least one of these 3 categories. 1, they're either higher in protein than usual. 2, they are high in fiber, which fiber is important because that's what keeps you fuller for longer. It takes more work for your body to digest. So it's just simply slightly more filling. And then 3, it's foods that are naturally high in water. So this is gonna be like your fruits and your vegetables and things like that, which is also where fiber is often found, etc. So with those being the 3 main pillars of really satiating foods, which meaning that it's gonna make you feel full, right, and satisfied, those are 3 properties that usually are always found within whole foods and not in processed foods. Usually processed foods don't have a lot of protein unless they're like manufactured to have like protein foods. They're usually not high in fiber at all if there's any fiber in there, and usually there's no water because it's not naturally like coming from earth. And I think a perfect example of this is how it's so much easier to eat like 300 calories worth of donuts as it is to eat 300 calories worth of chicken breasts. Like it is so hard, like you're gonna get so full trying to finish those 300 calories worth of chicken breasts when 100 calories is gonna go down like that, and that's due to the quality of the calories, what is making up those calories. Scene change. Next thing I want to talk about is how to properly structure a satiating meal, because once your body is actually like satisfied, satiated, and fueled properly, I promise you, you will feel amazed at how much easier it is to eat those whole foods and naturally crave those whole foods and feel actually satiated after having a nice healthy meal. So this is going to go back to 3 main macronutrients, which you may or may not have heard before, but in all of our food, we have 3 main macronutrient categories that consist and make up these calories that we are intaking. So you have your main, 100 calories, and then underneath that, it's kind of the makeup of those 100 calories. So that is broken down into 3 main categories of proteins, fats, and carbohydrates. So in order for a meal to be actually satiating, you wanna make sure you're hitting all those bases. So number 1, protein, like I said, super filling, super satiating, takes a lot of work for your body to digest and breaks down, keep you fuller for longer. And I guarantee you, like if you actually are eating a meal with an adequate amount of protein, it's really hard to still feel hungry afterwards. Number 2 with that is healthy fat. So this is gonna be anything like avocado, nuts, seeds, like animal fats that's in like beef or something like that, olive oils, avocado oils. This is another really big macronutrient to make sure you're intaking, because this just helps with hormonal health, especially to make sure that your body is sending correct signals, optimal brain function, all of that sort of stuff. And then 3 is carbohydrates. So this is gonna vary, right? You can choose a starchier carb, which is gonna be like sweet potato, white potatoes, rice, pasta, things like that, whole grains, bread, oats, or like your fruits and vegetables also fall under this category of carbohydrates. So that also is something that's gonna give you energy. And also in complex carbohydrates is where fiber is found, which again, if you remember what I just spoke about, my last point, fiber, super filling and super satiating. So that's gonna come like in your fruits and vegetables, your oats, things like that to make you actually feel full. And then kind of similar but different, the 4th category is micronutrients. So kind of I talked about our macronutrients, which are those main bulk of the calories. Your micronutrients are kind of more so like your vitamins and minerals that are within the food that helps with proper nourishment. So this is going to overlap with carbs, because usually your micronutrients are going to be found in your fruits and your vegetables, like I said. Making sure you're getting in those vitamins and minerals are what's going to also help you feel satiated on the really micro internal scale, which is super important, because if you're deficient in any like vitamins or minerals, it can 100% contribute to certain cravings or why you gravitate towards certain foods or constantly feeling hungry, things like that. Still really hardcore in preacher mode. Number 3 is to not categorize food as either good or bad. This may sound a little bit kind of hypocritical, because I was like, make sure you prioritize whole foods, but just bear with me. This has been a game changer for me to actually have not only a healthy relationship with food, but also properly actually like listen to my body and let my body guide me forward in terms of what I'm choosing for food. I think it is literally black and white facts that if you tell yourself that you can't have something or that something is bad, it inevitably kind of causes that like, ooh, I kind of want it now, / it kind of enforces the concept of like a scarcity mindset of like, oh, I can't have that because I'm gonna gain weight, and it's just like enforcing the scarcity mindset. So really getting rid of that and wiping the slate clean of like everything's equal, no food's good or bad, like there's just only some foods that are more nutritious than others, but some things are really good at fueling your body and some things are really good at fueling your mind and inner child. Like there's a purpose for every sort of food and treat in anything that's out there, and so there's no need to demonize anything. And if anything, it's just going to create a negative whole situation. So for me, making sure that I completely look at all food unbiasedly has been really important, and it has allowed me to actually truly sink into my body and allow me to make my true unbiased decision of what my body's actually wanting and craving, because I don't feel like there's like a scarcity scarcity factor that I can't have something, or that like I can't have it again, so it's like making me want it more. So, and it's funny because when you actually have that mindset, you inevitably end up genuinely craving and making that genuine, honest decision to choose that whole food, because at the end of the day, that is what our body is meant to consume. So it is what our body naturally wants. Once you kind of can get past all of that mental fog, you need to understand, like, we are naturally made to eat the foods that naturally come from the earth. Our body naturally wants that at our core. And I find what naturally happens is I naturally crave, you know, those whole foods because they taste good and they make me feel really good 80 to 90% of the time. And then I find that I choose ice cream and more packaged things and kettle corn popcorn about 10 to 20% of the time, because it fuels my inner child, it makes me mentally feel good, and it's a treat and it's fun and it's play. And it just has kind of naturally fallen into that balance, and it has left me like literally never ever feeling restricted. And my last little tip is to allow your body to tell you how much, because I feel like that's the biggest $1 million question of how much you should be eating, how many calories, blah, 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 blah. It makes everyone go crazy in their brain. Let your body tell you how much that you need. And this is why I'm such a huge advocate for mindful eating over tracking, because it's not like an I don't believe, it's just fact. Your body is not burning the same amount of calories every single day. It's going to depend on how active you are, what part of you are in your cycle. For all my females, your hormones, things like that. Like, we're fluctuating, free-flowing human beings, which is a beautiful thing, and I love it. And so you can't expect your body to be this like rigid thing all the time, especially if you're looking for something for more so longevity over the long haul and you don't have this really strict short-term fitness goal. So some days you're gonna be really hungry and some days you're not gonna be that hungry, and that is okay. And I think more so the beauty of it is, like, if you were to look at your overall average caloric intake on a weekly basis, I guarantee it's gonna level out into being about what your maintenance calories would be about. But you know, throughout that 7-day span, you might have a day where you're eating 300 more calories and a day where you're eating 300 less calories. But again, it's that natural fluctuation. And I find, like, on days, like for example, actually just yesterday, I ate a lot yesterday. I just, you know, kind of was naturally the way the day went. I was hungry, and that just was kind of the flow of the day. And like today, I'm not feeling that hungry because, again, I was able to fuel up yesterday. And it's not in the sense of me restricting, it's just kind of that natural flow of like your body was able to store up some calories from yesterday, and that's what's kind of allowing you to coast through the day. Maybe in a day or two I'm going to be a little bit more hungry than normal, but I'm just trying to say, my point is, like, those natural fluctuations are normal, and there's natural fluctuations in life. You know, our body is going to mirror that in some sense or another. My advice with this is to just simply listen to your hunger cues. And I know this is something that may kind of seem like a challenge to some people, especially if you're someone who's been chronically under eating, which is totally okay. Just have patience with yourself, and it is going to take practice. And some things that have helped me really get in touch with my hunger cues is eating slowly. So not gobbling down your food, like taking breaks, taking a drink in between your bites, putting your fork down, things like that, and just kind of being more conscious. Put all distractions away while you're eating. Don't watch a YouTube video, don't watch TV, don't be on the phone with someone. Try to be super present with your meal. Be slow to allow your body to actually send your signals to your brain when you're feeling more full and satiated, just so you can kind of be more sensitive to it. Also focusing on those whole foods, like I said, because they're actually really naturally satiating, and it's a lot easier kind of for your body to pick apart those nutrients that it got from that meal and assess if it's hungry or full, as opposed to processed foods. And another huge tip is to not let yourself get super hungry / don't go too long without eating. This is huge. I am the #1 advocate for eating about every 2 to 4 hours. Again, do what works for you. But my point is just there's no need to go like 6+ hours without eating, because I find that usually always slingshots you the other way, and you won't even realize that you're like so hungry at that point. And then when you do go to eat, you like just can't stop eating, and then you end up kind of overshooting your target, like I'm saying, and you end up overeating because you just were so hungry that it was hard to be in control around food when you just was trying to get calories in because your body was so hungry. Eating meals that are closer together are huge, and they have really allowed my hunger cues to really show through. Okay, that's everything. All my tips on Mindful Eating 101. I hope that really helped you guys, because I'm super big advocate of this, and I just don't like when people feel stuck with their nutrition. I want you to like enjoy what you're eating, have fun, like feel like, you know, you're living your own life. So give mindful eating a try. If you would like, if you enjoyed this video and want to support my channel, support Lift Fit, support 12 Days of Lift Fitness, I'd really appreciate a thumbs up down below, a comment, let me know your thoughts, a subscription. I always want to say subscription, but that doesn't really sound right. But you know, subscribing, joining the family. I love you guys so much. Thank you guys so much for all of your love and support. I'm sending you so much love, and hopefully I'll see you in the next video. Peace out.